Hey everybody, I am so glad to be here today for a fun new release with Altenew. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, September 10th, 2020, and it is absolutely freezing here in Nebraska. So as we get started, don't forget to go out into the chat and say hello and tell me where you're from. And I always forget to start up my chat here, and I'm always like, why don't I know what you're saying? Because I always forget to start my chat here. So I'm just setting up my screen so I can follow along. And there we go. Awesome. So I'm glad to have you here. Sue, you have your tea. That is a great thing. I have tea too, but I'll wait until I'm done to finish it. It'll be cold tea by then, of course. So anyway, we are going to go through the products that I received through as an Altenew design team member for this latest release. It is called Beauty of the Season, and we're going to go through and look at the things that I got. And I'm going to recreate one of the projects that I shared out on my blog today. And then we're going to have a little bit of fun with some of the new products with the embossing folders. So if you haven't seen, we have our new stamp, die, and extras released today. It is fairly holiday themed, but there's also some great stuff in there that is kind of fall geared. There's like grape leaves and some pumpkins and some other things. I skipped on some of those. So as a designer, we get to see in advance what is coming out for the release, and then we get to pick what we want out of the release. And it's kind of the way that we get the number of products is how many projects we actually create. So if I do a lot of projects, I can get more products. If I do just a few projects, I can get less products. So it works out really well. I think it's pretty fair. So I'm going to pop down to my hands and show you guys. I'm so glad you guys are joining in. Thank you for saying hello. I'm glad you are all out there. Don't forget to share out while I'm live here so that other folks can join in and see all the great stuff that we are working with today. And also all the links to the products that I'm sharing today, plus a link to the entire release, is down in the description. So if you use those links, they are affiliate links, and those will give me a small commission at no additional cost to you. And that's how I continue to fund all of my craft education and all of these fun little lives that I do on my YouTube channel. So I thank you each and every time you click on one of my links and do some shopping. I really do appreciate getting that little bit of extra money to help make this all happen. So thank you so much, Sue, for sharing. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's go through all the products that I got. Now, there's more than this to the release. We don't get the whole release. Like I said, we just get to pick the number of products that we want with the number of projects that we're going to create. So I have a pile here that I did receive. So this first one, I did not create any projects with this. So it is like still in the bag and everything, but it is the Positive Vibes stamp and die set. And the die does the finished floral piece here. And it is a builder set. I thought it would go really nice with there was a Build-A-Flower that had a whole bunch of little flowers on it that I thought it would go really well with. So that's kind of why I picked this one. I thought, oh, I could combine these two together and that would be really great. So this is the back side with the layering guide. And of course the inside, there's all sorts of projects and things. So this is Positive Vibes, and it's got some really great sentiments in there. They're positive, right? So you make me smile. Your smile makes me smile. Sorry. True friends are everything. Be the type of person you would want to meet. Be you. This one I really liked. Respect time. It is greater than money. I thought that was a really great one. Choose positivity today. We rise by lifting others. There's just some really great sentiments in here too. So it will go really well with the little stem of flowers. And I'm excited to use it. I just haven't used it yet. So that is the first one. Okay, so into, I think the rest of this, except for the embossing folders, is holiday. So the next one is the holiday flower die and stamp set. And it is this cluster of Poinsettia, and then a whole bunch of really great greetings. I loved the fonts on them and thought that they would be really nice and modern. So I did do a project for this, and you may have seen it on some of the emails from Altenew, and then if you've been out to my blog. So this is the project that I did. And I colored this in with alcohol markers, and then I did a little bit of washi tape in the background, and then I did something fun with the greeting. Instead of just going straight across with 2 sentiment strips, I decided to box out the, this element here. All right, so super, super fun. So that is Holiday Flowers, Holiday Flower Die and Stamp Set. All right, I'm going to hold off on Seasons Tweetings for the moment. I'll show you the rest of these first. Okay, so then Holiday Tag Sentiments. So this is, I got this mostly for the sentiments. I didn't get the die set with this one. It had some little scallops and things to do for tags. But I really loved all of the sentiments on here. And I'll use it. I got the Terrific Tags set last month, and it'll go well with these. So I figured I have tags. And then it did have cutouts for these little elements, but obviously I didn't get this set. So I will either just stamp them flat, or I'll fussy cut them, you know, a little circle for the snowflake is all I really need. Most of these really could just be cut out in little circles or something like that. So I really liked all of the sentiments on here, and I used this in a card along with the Poinsettia 3D die set. Now this is a standalone die set, and it is these pieces you see here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the center, a 5th piece. And oops, this is what they look like. They're pretty big. I mean, that's like 4.5 inches at length, or 4.25, thereabouts. Okay, so they layered together to make a beautiful dimensional poinsettia. And instead of using the little center die cut, I used some of the small sequins from the, that's the antique gold sequins. All right, so you can see I paired that with one of the Terrific tags, and then a sentiment from the sentiment set here, and a few of these little bits and bobs to make some holly, and made like a little gift looking card. All right, so super fun. That is Holiday Tag Sentiments, and this one does come with a die set, and then the Poinsettia 3D die set, which is a standalone. All right, so that is that. And then the last holiday thing that I got was the Seasons Tweetings. So Sue, this is the one that you were interested in. And this has 3 bits to it. It's got the stamp set, Seasons Tweetings. Okay, so it is a cardinal builder. How fun is that? And I like the sentiments on here. They're great sentiments, and I love the script. Very nice. And it's got some regular print as well. And then you've got the mask stencils, and then the die set. So the dies will cut out the 2 birds, the little berries, a branch, and then the little banner. Okay, so we're going to use this one today. This is the card that I made with it, and this is the card that I'm going to demo for you. So super cute, a nice little slimline card. And I'm going to show you how I got this look instead of doing the stamping. Okay, so then we're going to do that. All right, so then the last 2 things that I got, which I was so excited about, were the new embossing folders. So embossing folders come and go, right? They are coming back, and these happen to be, why don't I have, oh, I do have my, yes, I do have my samples out for these. Okay, so they are both kind of like a 3D. So this one is considered 3D. It's called Beautiful Bergenia, and it coordinates in a way with the Bergenia Builder stamp set. It's the same flower arrangement look and everything, and it's got the same leaves and things in it. So you could use that together, but it's really thick. Okay, so it's a 3D, and it gives you a really, really thick impression. And this was the sample card that I did for it, and I love it. I just pulled this piece out of my scrap spin. It was just watercolor wash background, and I popped it through, and that's all it needed. That, and then I put a little sentiment on there. But look at that, isn't it awesome? I just want to touch it all day long. It's so cool. All right, so that is the Bergenia Builder 3D embossing folder. And I will run these through real quick and show you a few different ways to use them. And then this one is the Mega Hello. And so this is just like the stamp and die set that we have with the Mega Hello. It's the same script. And I did a sample of this one in just plain white, and it's unbelievable. It's debossing, so it will scoop in on your cardstock instead of bumping out like an emboss. So it's debossed, meaning it goes in. So it's like letterpress, but I think it's even deeper than a letterpress would be. I mean, look at their cavernous, how deep you can get in that. So I love this. And this is all this card needed. It was just this little bit of embossing and I was done, right? So I did do another one. I don't know where it is hiding, but I'm going to show you how I did that one too. So I used some gray ink and put it on the embossing folder and then embossed with it. So let's do that first, and then we'll get to our cardinal. So let me pull out a few papers that I had set up. Okay, so let's show you. I pulled out a couple different pattern papers just from my scrap stash. So these both are really a great way to use up your scrap stash. So move the samples out of the way here. Okay, so it is a 6x6, and so I'm going to put in my cardstock here. Of course, it's going to extend out because this is a little longer than that. And using my Gemini, let's see, what sandwich am I using? I'm just taking out, normally with my Gemini, I would use my 2 acrylic plates and my self-healing mat in between, but I'm going to take this self-healing mat out. I don't need it. This is thick enough that I'm just going to use the 2 acrylic plates and the embossing folder, and that's what's going to go through. So if you're using something like a Big Shot, normally what you would do is just get rid of one of your acrylic plates. So it would be like the Big Shot base plate, your embossing folder with the paper inside, and then an acrylic plate on top. So you're always going to remove one of your thicker layers because this is so thick. And trust me, it won't go through the machine if you have your sandwich set up wrong. So you're not going to break your machine. It's just going to give you really quick feedback and say, this ain't going through. So you're going to have to adjust your sandwich a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to pop this through my Gemini. So easy. All right, and it's not like warping my plates or anything, and that's it. So open that up, and so now I have that gorgeous pattern on this funky panel. All right, and I mean, you can touch it all day long. It's really quite amazing. All right, so I thought maybe I would do it on this metallic piece too. So let's see what we get. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it the other way so I can make a landscape project with this some other time. Okay, so again, I'm just going to sandwich it in between the 2 plates for my Gemini. And oh, I should mention, it has an opening at the top, so if you wanted to slip a piece of cardstock through, you could do that too. All right. Ooh, that's fun. All right. So it's got metallic all over it. This was just like an extra leftover wash from my metallic watercolors. And now it's got that beautiful floral pattern on it too. All right, super, super fun. This is the Bergenia, beautiful Bergenia 3D embossing folder. All right, so there's that one. Okay, so with the hello, you already saw what that looks like when you just put it through. Okay, so yeah, there is the cutting slit into here. So if you want to put something through there, you can. Okay, so I pulled out some plain cardstock, and basically what I did for a different look is I took an ink, and it was, what did I use? It was a VersaFine Claire color, but I'm going to use the mixed media inks from Altenew. Now the reason why I'm using these over the dye inks is because the dye inks might bubble up a little bit on here, and I want to get like a nice creamy finish. So I think I'll do it in Coralberry. Now with the hello, of course you can only go one way with it. So you don't want to put ink on this side because no one will ever see it. You want to put it on the side that's going to press into the top of the paper. All right, so I've got that, and I'm just going to take my Coralberry and smush it on here. All right, and this is where you have to be a little careful. And actually what I might do is take just a little piece of tape and pop it right up at the top here so that this doesn't move, and then close it. Now you can't open it up again because you might not realign it right. All right, so keep it nice and firmly closed. All right, pop this through your machine. All right, so let's see what we got. Huh, so cool. All right, so it doesn't really grab around the edges, so it helps you give that really great outline, and then it digs in with the debossing folder. Such a cool look. So now I can just crop that down and really just put it right on a card. All right, so that was something really fun that I thought to do with this. Now you could also like stamp a pattern on here or do any number of really cool things with your folders to create some really cool looks. But this is a pretty basic one that will take this to the next level, right? All right, so that is our look, and this is the Mega Hello embossing folder, or debossing folder, if you will, because it scoops the letters down. All right, yay! So that's it for the show and tell. Let's do a quick project, and then that'll be it for today. So if you are just joining, hello. Don't forget to say hello and tell me where you're from. I'm so glad you're here. Hello, Cece. So glad to see you. We are looking at the new release from Altenew. If you missed it, check the replay. We're going to move into a little project with Season's Tweetings. Such a cute set. And if you are interested in any of these products, they are all available starting today. They are live on the Altenew website, and you can, I would love it, I should say, if you use my affiliate links below. That will give me a little commission off your order at no additional cost to you, so you won't even notice it. But it sure does help out with me putting together all these free videos and sharing my love of crafting with you. Okay, so Season's Tweeting is such a cute set. All right, we're really just going to use the sentiments and maybe some of the little bird imagery off of here. And let me grab my pile of cardstock. All right, so I did a slimline card on this. And the background, so this is a 3.5 by 7. This is my preferred slimline size. Yes, I know it's smaller than what most people are doing. But I like that size, and my We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board will make an envelope this size. So I like it because it's essentially a 4.25 by 5.5. It's just a little taller and a little skinnier, and you don't feel like you have this ginormous canvas that you have to fill. So I really do like this size over something larger. All right, so I'm going to use one of my Altenew brushes, and we're going to do up the background. So I'm using the Lapis Lazuli set, and I'll start with lightest and move to darkest. And we'll see how dark I get it today. Yeah, so I'm going to show you how I put together the bird. It's a little different. I didn't do all of the stamping for it because I did it on some of the Apple cardstock. All right, so iceberg and then eastern sky. So I have a question for you guys while I'm working here, and you see I'm working with the mini ink pads. I've been thinking about starting to get the larger ink pads. Do you prefer using the minis or the full-size ink pads? So I have room for them if I want to invest in getting them, but it'll be like a full set syndrome thing. Like I'll have to keep ordering them until I get all of them. All right, moving into the next color here, which is ultramarine. And I think this one might end up a little lighter, just to save on some time. So it'll give you a different look, show you maybe more of a daytime look with the birds instead of a nighttime look. All right, and then our last color is Ozorite. Yeah, Nancy, I know that's a thing for a lot of people, is the storage issue. So having the minis is really a nice option. It's just that sometimes, see, like I'm doing this and I'm trying to get ink all over my blending brush, and sometimes it's a pain. I have to keep picking it up and putting it on like that. All right, so there we go. The blended sky got a little whoops there, but I think we're going to cover that with the bird anyway. So there we go. Yeah, so I've been trying to decide if I want to get the Altenew in the larger pads or if I want to get a different companies in the larger pads. I don't know. I need to grab my towel. Okay, so here's our background. We're going to add the spatter later. So here is a piece of the, I forget what it's called, apple. It's apple something or something apple red. Okay, so I'm going to just use the stencil for this. And I really don't have a lot of room on the edge of my table here, so things are always falling off. Okay, so pop this guy over here, and I'm going to use just a little sponge dauber and the Obsidian black. All right, so it doesn't take much. The Obsidian black is pretty strong. See how that ends up being a lot right there? So I'm definitely going to start off to the side here. And then I'm just going to kind of go on the edge. I don't want to go all the way to the middle. All right, and then I'm going to go all the way around. Okay, let me zoom in on the next one and you can see even closer what that looks like. Okay, so when I lift this up, then I have a really cool silhouette of the bird. All right, so let's do the other one because I need his pair, his match. Of course, these are two boys because they're both red. All right, so again, I'm kind of daubing off some of that black because it's pretty strong. And then very lightly, just going in like so. You have to be kind of careful. This doesn't have any adhesive on the back, like I didn't spray it with pixie spray or anything. So these little bits here will like to fly up. So I'm just kind of pushing in so that they're not flipping up. All right, and there we go. All right. Okay, so now I can come in and do a little bit of detail work with the actual stamps. Okay, and they have them broken up pretty good here. So like all the pieces for this bird are generally over here, and all the pieces for this bird are here. You just kind of have to figure out where, who, what, where, when, why. So like this little piece here is the beak. And then I need to do, I really just need the eye and the feet. So here are the feet. And that was this this bird here. So I put in the feet and everything after I die cut it, so that way I knew exactly where to put them because I didn't do the stamping. So we'll probably come back to those, but I can put the rest in. So this little piece here is the little muzzle, if you will. And you just kind of have to look at it and figure out, like, there's a little scoop here for the eye and there's like a break in there for the beak. And once you've got that figured out, it's pretty easy to get it lined up. So now he's got his little mask there, or muzzle, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so that's that little teeny tiny piece. And then he's got a little eyeball. These pieces are so little, they're the kind that you're gonna totally lose on the floor. So always make sure you're kind of keeping track of those. And then what else do I need on him? Just his feet. So we're gonna wait on the feet for a minute until we get it die cut, because I don't want to put the feet on and then have the feet cut off when we die cut it, right? Okay, so on this guy then, same idea. There's a little space for the eye and a little space for his beak, and you can kind of see how it's supposed to go right on his face. Yep, that's the right one. It looks kind of funny when you do it, but then once it's in place, you're like, oh yeah, that's how it goes. And then he has a little eyeball too. All right, there we go. So we will die cut these guys, and then I'm also going to die cut the branch. I don't need to stamp it because we're going to use just some black. All right, so I've got a piece of black cardstock and I've got my birds. So these guys, it's nice with the stencil. It gives you that same outline that you would have if you were to stamp it. So you still have an outline to line up your die with. I think this set is going to go really quick. Like, it may not be available for long. So if you want it for Christmas, you might need to get it now. All right, and then pop this guy here. All right, and then I need to run it through twice because it's the same branch. Okay, so this is just a regular die cutting, so I don't have to worry about anything, any strange sandwich here. It's just normal. Two branches, so I need to grab one more branch. Just let that run through. Right. Let's check out our little birdies. Aren't they awesome? You can't really see them. Put them on some white paper for you. Okay. All right, so these guys are adorable. Let me give you another close-up look. There we go. Okay, so let's get their feet on now that we've got them in place. So one has kind of like a little more sitting feet, and one is standing just a little bit more. So now that I've got them cut out, I can see exactly where these need to go. And I don't know. Oh, okay. Yep, I can see that now. There. And then this guy is standing up a little bit more. There. Super cool, right? I'm always on the hunt for good cardinals. I mentioned in my blog post that I have a thing about cardinals. Like if they look too chubby or if they look too angry, I don't like them. So these guys totally fit the bill. All right, so let's do, I had to do a little bit of assembly so I knew exactly where to place everything. So I kind of had a branch here, and then I took this branch and flipped it over to go the other way, and then the bird is going to cover this little spot here so it doesn't look it doesn't look weird. So if I put these in place, I need to just make sure that my bird is not going to extend past the top. So he can kind of sit there. And this one will sit here. All right. Actually, all right, and then I'm actually going to pop a little foam adhesive behind the top here so he pops a little bit. And then for this branch, I angled it so that way they really looked different from each other. And then again, I'll put just a little bit of adhesive on the bottom of the bird and get him in place. And then I'll pop a adhesive behind that, a foam adhesive afterwards. All right, because we need to get the sentiment on here. And then this card will be done. Well, we'll put some spatter on here too. Okay, so I did wishing you love and joy because that seemed to really fit well on here. Oh, hi, Iggy. So that'll go kind of there. And this will go kind of here. So if you don't have confidence in your skills, like me right now, I'm gonna grab my Misty. And I need to trim off the side to put it in there. All right. Because it really is just going to fit in between these two guys, the way I have it set up right now. Okay. So we are wrapping up here. I hope you guys enjoyed this look into the newest Altenew release and that you got a chance to see some of the products that you're interested in. I've got links for them all below, so you can go shop till you drop if you want. And if you come back at 4 o'clock Central Time, we're going live again twice in one day. Oh my goodness, I'm crazy. For our monthly or our weekly series, Running with Scissors. And our stamp set this month is from my favorite things. It's called Cat-a-corn, and it is adorable. And we're only doing one project today because it is an involved project, but I know you guys are gonna love it. Okay, so I just snipped the edges off of that. And I've got my, what did I do with it? Oh, here it is. My card base. So my card base is 7 by 7. And so it's scored at 3.5. And that's going to go right on here. And it really does look plain until you get the spatter on it. So I will put this on the card base and we'll spatter it. And then this one will be done. Oh, have fun, Nancy. I hope you're quilting something awesome. You'll have to tell us about it later. All right, so there's that. And I've got my white. And I'm actually going to come back with a brush. And do some fine spattering because it's easy for that to get out of control. There we go. Much better. There. Perfect. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and please do let me know if you are enjoying these release day lives. I'm doing them all month. I want to see how you guys like them and if you think that there's something that you want me to continue. So be sure to leave comments below if you're watching this as a replay, and if you have any other thoughts of things that you'd like for me to share, go ahead and leave me a comment. I'd love that. And on your way out, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up so that I show up in your suggested videos a little more often. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. And I will be back, I think, next week with some more releases. And of course, later today for running with scissors. So thanks so much, and I'll see you in a little bit.